Hey friends, we're back with another update on how things are going here with Niños con Valor and the pandemic situation here in Bolivia. First for Niños con Valor, things are going well. Our kids' virtual schooling, I think, has improved now that their schools are using Google Classrooms. Some of our kids are back to their extracurricular activities like dance and scouts, virtually, of course. And yeah, we're harvesting from the garden that we planted a few months before with volunteers before the whole lockdown measures came into place. And we continue to do fun activities. This weekend was the Andean Amazonic New Year and our teens had a slumber party. So yeah, it is getting colder. We're now definitely at the brink of winter. It's getting down to around 32 degrees or 0 Celsius in the evenings. And we love this huge house, but we realized that it gets pretty cold in the winter, and so we've gotten our kids warm clothing, warm pajamas. We've gotten some space heaters for the living areas, and so that seems to be helping cut the chill a little bit. In terms of the pandemic, things in Bolivia have honestly taken a bit of a turn for the worse. Since the lockdown measures were loosened about 5 weeks ago, the number of cases in Bolivia have quadrupled, and here in Cochabamba have increased 8-fold. And that has led some hospitals to become overwhelmed, the morgue to become overwhelmed. There's been cases of people passing away in their homes or on the streets, and so as a response, the state authorities here in Cochabamba are going to be returning to the strict lockdown measures on June 29th for at least 10 days. And hopefully during that time they can take some actions to better mitigate the spread that's on the rise. As for Niños con Valor, we continue with the same biosecurity measures as we have since March, maybe being a little bit more extreme in our disinfection of people and things coming into the programs because the virus is more widespread. And we're looking at getting some COVID-19 health insurance for our staff and kids that are eligible. Obviously a big percentage of our kids have pre-existing conditions and so they're not qualified, but the price of care is pretty high here, and so we're looking at getting that. I mentioned in our last update this outreach that our kids and staff have launched, and that's going really well. We've been helping more than a dozen families so far. We're starting to hand out reusable washable masks and some hygiene supplies to the police, and the next couple weeks we're going to start handing out the PPE to the frontline healthcare workers. And so we're really excited about that. Thank you for those who supported. A special thanks to Trinity Lutheran Church in Lisle, Illinois, who really invested a lot in this outreach, and so together we're going to make just an amazing impact here in the fight against the pandemic. On a very different note, we've been following the protests and that in the US and around the world, and as a response, Niños con Valor is developing a curriculum to work with our kids, teens, young adults on racism, but discrimination in general that is systemically present here in Bolivia and internationally. And our goal is that this will not only help better orient our kids and our staff on the realities and how we can respond, but also be shared with other organizations. Because even though it's a small thing, we all need to do our part to make sure that the errors of the past and the present aren't repeated in the future. So that's the update. Hope you guys are all doing well, and until the next time, see you later.